maritime law is separate from the other civil and criminal disputes that we as lawyers are accustomed to, in a sense that for a civil dispute, as you know, the hierarchy of courts are maybe a district court and then a high court and then the Supreme Court, or maybe even lesser for a criminal court, maybe a magistrate's court, and then you come to a sessions judge or something. The hierarchy goes like this. In CPC and CRPC, we've read so. But when it comes to high court, when it comes to maritime, we do not have it in this fashion. Uh, for the maritime jurisdiction, the 2017 Admiralty Jurisdiction Act that defines the powers of where the cases will lie in particularly a maritime matter, in a commercial maritime matter. So only a few designated high courts in the country, especially the coastal high courts, have been given the power to hear admiralty disputes. So, for example, if I consider Delhi High Court, if I consider Allahabad High Court, if I consider, let's say, Rajasthan High Court, all these are landlocked states. They do not have admiralty jurisdiction in their respective high courts. Whereas, you talk about Calcutta High Court, you talk about Madras High Court, you talk about Bombay High Court, Kerala High Court, Gujarat High Court, Orissa High Court, you talk about High Court of Andhra Pradesh right now. All these, some of these high courts, all throughout the Indian coastline, any state touching the sea will have an admiralty jurisdiction. Initially, it was through the letters patent only given to the High Court of Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. As you know, there are presidency high courts. Maximum of the cases were dealt with the Bombay High Court before, because of the concentration of shipping power in Bombay, because that's how it was there. Maximum of the arrest matters used to happen in Bombay. But right now, after the 2017 Act, the majority of the cases shifted from Bombay to, but still Bombay holds fort in the maritime matters, but Calcutta also hold the fort in the eastern part of the country. So it was Bombay in the western part, Calcutta in the eastern part, but now it has been divided after 2017 Act. So in the eastern part also, you have many high courts. You have Odisha High Court, you have Calcutta High Court. Down you have the Madras High Court. Madras High Court always had it. So Madras High Court you always have. Then in the west you have many high courts. You have Gujarat High Court. You have all these. So what does this mean is that any ship. So I'm calling this ship for my viewers and your viewers, because in the maritime language we refer it as a vessel, VESSEL. So any vessel which is, let's say, disputed in the territorial limits of, let's say, Gujarat. What I mean by territorial limits is that, so basically, if you look at the coastline, many of our viewers and many of our listeners have gone to beaches and for vacations, for any kind of sightseeing or anything. So when we see a beach, so we see the water touching the sands of the beach and then retreating. So if you take the length, from there the baseline starts and you calculate 12 nautical miles, that's the territorial limits of the country. What do you mean by territorial limits is that, let's say IPC 300, you do a murder, you actually commit a murder, and let's say you run away within 12 nautical miles of the country, the Indian police can come and catch you even there till 12 nautical miles. Till that the Indian laws apply. For us maritime, these limits actually matter. Beyond 12 till 24 is basically the contiguous zone. After that starts the continental shelf and then the exclusive economic zone and then the high seas. So till 200 nautical miles we have the exclusive economic zone. After that we have the high seas. Till 12 nautical miles, all the laws apply intact, as if it was applying to Indian territory itself. So till 12 nautical miles is India's territory. Yes. So 12 nautical miles would be approximately 20 to 21 kilometers. That's approximately. So within the sea also 21 kilometers, that's considered as India's territory. So you can't run away like 20 kilometers and say that, okay, I'm safe now, because the Indian Coast Guard can apprehend you and bring you back and make you arrest you, obviously. So that's how it is.